Bore da, Croeso I coffee gyda Clares.
That basically means good morning and welcome to the coffee with the Clares, doesn't it, Claire?
That is right, yes, thanks for translating.
I mean, where do you think we are, Claire? Where do you think we are?
Where could we be?
We could be. So we are at the University of Wales, Trinity St David in Carmarthen, and basically one of the campuses, many campuses in Carmarthen, and this one is the Outdoor Adventure Education Centre, but also they do adventure filmmaking as well. So it's really right up our street. And you have lots of filmmaking here, lots of outdoor activity. So it's really sort of right up our street and all about outdoor adventures.
It is, and what a beautiful location we're in today. Just a reminder to everyone, as always, even though we're live on location, the rules don't change. Do not click any links unless they are posted by Olympus UK. We've got Charlotte in the comments today, and we have got the wonderful Gavin and Sam. They've travelled to Wales with us and they are in the background doing all the comments and all the technical. You can't see them, but it is amazing what we're looking at right now. They get to be under an umbrella because, as you can see, we're in Wales, and of course
it's starting to rain.
It's starting to rain,
but that's fine. we can do that. That's fine. We don't mind a little bit of rain.
We don't.
And obviously we love travelling down to Wales. But what are we here for, Claire?
We're here to talk macro with one of our wonderful ambassadors, Geraint Radford. Now, Geraint's going to come on in a moment and he's going to talk to us all things macro, all things bugs, and he's going to show us some wonderful techniques. So if you get any technical questions, either for us, or for Geraint, drop them in the comments. Sam's going to shout them out to us as we go. But without further ado, Geraint Radford, everyone.
Yay!
Hello.
Geraint. Hello, how are you?
I'm pretty good.
Are you good?
Yeah, very well.
Thank you for welcoming us down to your lovely country.
I was going to say.
I know, it's lovely. Welcome, welcome.
I'm a foreigner in these parts, but
No,
it's really lovely. I mean, obviously the weather doesn't really bother me.
No, this is a hot sunny day by our definition.
We're currently experiencing a heat wave in Wales here.
Yeah, it's really warm.
There's some blue sky up there.
A little bit of blue sky.
Patch. We'll follow that around.
As you know, Geraint is our macro ambassador, and boy, does he have some incredible images. Now, Geraint does a little bit of work with the campus that we're at. Tell us a little bit about a bit more about the campus and what you do here.
Yeah, so I run the photography aspects of the Adventure, Wildlife and Filmmaking course.
Brilliant.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so this year the guys have been putting a photo book together.
Ooh,
and the images, it's just been amazing. And for me, it's just incredible because I get to just talk about photography all day, share my expertise, but I just get to spend time with amazing students who produce amazing work.
Yeah. And what sort of age students are they?
So university.
Yeah.
So we're talking like young adults.
Young adults.
Yeah,
and do you know what?
20s.
That's where the education and where you want to put the sort of photography vibe onto them, isn't it? You know, I mean, obviously, you know, we all love hobbies as we get older, but actually that's where the skill set and the excitement and the new sort of features and things that the younger students will get massively involved in.
And the stuff they're producing is mind-blowing. Yeah, they're impressing me. I'm a little bit jealous of some of the pictures we got.
So you should
yeah,
be.
I won the photo books. I was like, I can just steal this. I don't even know. That's mine now.
And isn't that lovely? Education is obviously massive and photography inspires, and it's a great creative subject. So so don't forget, if you've got any questions you want for Geraint, and we're talking anything technical.
Yeah.
If you want to throw something really technical at him, we're gonna
we encourage you. Challenge Geraint today.
Now, usually we can read the comments out on the screen, but in this instance, because we're outdoors, Sam is going to wiggle a strawberry.
Yeah,
and when
she's
she wiggles her strawberry, that means there is a question. So she will read it out to us, and then we will
So
read
we're
it
waiting
back.
for the cue. Okay. We'll wait for the strawberry window.
Yeah, Sam, tell us where are people joining us
are
from?
from everywhere.
Good.
I saw just now Australia.
Oh, Australia, good.
Shropshire, so that's not far away, is it? Shropshire.
Shropshire?
Yeah.
No, next county out of Wales.
It's up there somewhere.
Dorset, Shetland Isles.
Oh, Shetland.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Norfolk, Derbyshire, Barry in Stevenage. So that's not the Barry.
Oh, I thought you meant Barry in Wales.
Barry in Wales, yeah. Rosendale.
Mid-beds. Oh, there's a Welsh one. I'm not going to pronounce it.
No, do it.
Do it.
Greece. I know. I can do that one.
That's not a word.
Yeah, there's a few from Wales. So
I mean, we know Gavin's Welsh is really good, so, you know.
He can totally pronounce it, I think.
to begin with.
Wonderful, thank you, Sam. Again, if you've got any questions for Geraint, it's about you. He is a genius, so let's get if you've got anything you need to know, get those in the comments and Sam can ask, and what a perfect opportunity you've got to ask Geraint. Now, macro.
Macro. So Claire,
Let's talk macro.
let's talk about macro. So say you go out, someone's gone out, one of our lovely audience has gone out and they've bought a macro lens.
They
They've
bought a
never,
60, say.
They've
Yes.
never shot
It's
macro
in that
before.
bag, never been out.
Never been out, it's stuck in the bag. They look at all these on the side and they're like, what do I do with that? And they just want to go out and shoot for the day. And we're in a beautiful location, there's a lot of wildflower around. Where do you start?
Yeah, give us some hints and tips.
So I would recommend setting your camera up to begin with. Like,
Yes.
That's the first thing. So you've got your fancy new lens. You're excited to go exploring this wonderful macro world. So, but at first it does feel a little bit daunting and maybe you're just not quite sure what to do. And it is kind of completely different to what people are used
Totally.
to shooting.
Absolutely.
If you take a picture of f8 on a landscape, everything's sharp. F8 in macro, nothing's sharp.
Yeah.
So it's just trying to get that balance. So
Yeah.
I would recommend first setting it up in aperture priority mode, because
Yeah.
then you can set your aperture first. You can kind of figure out how much you want in focus, and then just let everything else sort itself out.
Yeah.
Get that ready. Get into manual focus. It's a lot easier just to focus yourself, especially on days like this where it's a little bit windy and things are moving around. And then it's just a case of finding subjects. So in the summer, the subject's absolutely everywhere. It's not that much of a challenge. It's just figuring out what you want to photograph and where.
Yeah.
So it's overcast today.
Yeah.
Which is quite a good thing, right?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Although we
'Cause-
don't like it because we're a bit damp. It's great for photography.
Getting soggy, isn't it? I know. I put my fancy coat on and it's already soaked through. No. So you're going to be looking for shots with clear backgrounds.
Oh.
Have we got
we
the
found
strawberry
strawberry.
window?
Strawberry.
We're both looking at Geraint.
Oh, it's like, I can see it in my peripheral. And I was like, well, okay.
I'm waving my strawberry. So Graham asked, any tips on flash exposure when using focus stacking and can't use TTL?
Oh,
So this is kind of
Straight in there.
technical. Straight in
That's
in
good. I
there.
like it.
We've
I like
gone
it.
from apertures for beginners straight up to the flash stuff.
Yeah,
Okay,
do
so
it.
why don't you just finish what
Yeah,
you were saying,
we'll
and then
move on
we'll
to that.
answer
Then we'll
that
do flash.
question.
Yeah, so for the beginners, aperture priority mode, manual focus, and
Yeah.
look for shaded areas. At the moment,
Okay.
it's kind of overcast, so
Yeah.
we don't have harsh shadows to deal with. But if it's a sunny day, look for areas that are shaded,
Yeah.
because, insects especially, they're kind of super reflective, and it's hard to balance the exposures, but in shade, everything's prettier anyway.
Yeah.
You gotta watch your shutter speeds. So
Yeah.
just make sure that nothing's too blurry, unless you
Okay.
go for something creative.
Okay. Right, so let's go for that question again, Sam. Now you've had time to think about it.
Yes, so if you're going to be popping flash on,
Yeah.
and was it in terms of focus stacking as well, is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay, so when you're using the in-camera focus stacking, your shutter speed is limited to about a 50th, I think, isn't it, or 60th?
60th.
60th, yeah.
And depending on what flash gun you're using, because the STF8 and the FLs, like my FL900, they have different working systems. So I'll go on the basis of like a normal,
A normal
flash
flash gun.
Yeah.
Shoot it in manual. If you're focus stacking, you should be in manual everything anyway,
Okay.
because each frame has to be consistent. Your exposures have to be the same.
Yeah.
So I usually set up at about 1/250th of a second at about f5, and then get your flash and a diffuser, take a test shot, and then just dial up the flash up or down till it looks pretty.
Yeah, and it's all about the diffuser, isn't it?
Yeah.
Direct
It has
flash.
to be diffused.
Do you
yeah.
tend to sort of put the flash up in the air and right? You don't
Yes.
want direct flash.
I've got a flash
too
bracket.
much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Flash
so
bracket.
I've got it above the subject, pointing down, but over it. So it's
Yeah.
not actually directly lit by the flash. It's
Yeah.
kind of feathering.
Yeah.
Like if you use the softbox,
Yeah.
you use the edges, kind of go that way.
Yeah.
But I'm usually at about 1/16th flash power.
Okay.
I don't really go anywhere above that.
Okay.
Just a nice little pop of light.
Yes, but I start with 400 ISO.
Right, well, we hope that answered your question. We do have another strawberry waving section in the corner under the umbrella.
Not a question, just an observation from Susie saying, love the new hairstyle, Geraint.
Oh, I thank
See, I
you.
told you
Thank
that,
That's it. It's nice and windy. Can we do one in slow-mo?
You have to do slow motion.
I mean, the thing about macro is when I first got the 60mm, I put it on the camera and I was like, wow, this is different to every other lens, because you physically have to move your body backwards and forwards. It isn't about just pressing on that autofocus and expecting it to work.
And you can move just slightly, especially shooting at 1:1, your slightest movement, and you can be out, you know, you can be aiming for that, that bug's little face, and then you
for me, what I did, I practiced at home in normal light, in sort of without windy conditions, and I practiced on a remote control, because it just gave me a completely static subject that wasn't going to muck around,
wasn't going to jump at you,
or bite me, right, and so that was the idea. So, you know, as I said, if you're not used to the 60 and you think, oh, hang on a minute, it's such a beast of a lens, and you really should try and practice with it, but try on something static at home before you head out, so that you've not got all those other things to, you know, encounter, sort of worry about, and then when you suss that out, then you can go out into the field, can't you?
Everything she said.
That's true.
Ditto.
And Geraint, do you tend to shoot 1:1? Is that your go-to option on the 60mm?
Usually, in the UK, the bugs are kind of small, so I tend to enjoy filling the frame with them and getting like right in there. But recently, I've kind of stepped back a little, so I'm looking at like different ways of photographing now, including a lot more in the environment. But having that flexibility to go from 1:1 to infinity. That's why I love macro lenses. They're so versatile. It's not, you know, they're not just for bugs.
Oh, we've got a waving strawberry. Another question coming in from Sam.
So this is from Susan. If you had to pick one macro lens, what would it be?
And it's got. We're talking Olympus here, right?
Yeah, of course.
This one, the 60mm. It's because it's effectively, 120mm in terms of field of view. So the longer the macro lens, the further away you can be from your subject and still maintain that 1:1.
Because obviously with bugs, the closer you are to the bug, the more likely you are to frighten it off. So, you know, you want to be a little bit away. Now, that's a really good point. That leads into our use of micro four thirds technology and super long lenses and macro options. Claire.
So, some of you may know, some of you may have already shot with it, but I was using this morning, I've been wandering around this beautiful meadow, and I've been using the 40-150. It is superb for close focusing. You just take a step back, zoom all the way in, and you get really beautifully crisp shots. I'm a super fan of shooting at 2.8, just love blowing out the background. But you can also use the 300mm for macro. I mean,
100 to 400, 150 to 400.
12 to 40. They're such great lenses. The system itself is so versatile for macro photography. And I'm usually 40-150 or 12 to 40 if I'm going out looking for some wild animals. And if you see any wild animals or any wild creatures roaming around behind us today, do give us a shout. We're keeping an eye out for some. But yeah, it's really handy to switch from doing some wildlife photography to some macro photography all in one lens.
Yeah, and all the joy about micro four thirds technology and not having a mirror box in the system means that all of our lenses are very close focus. And so on something like the 40-150, you don't have to be on top of the bug or the thing that you're photographing. On the 300, I was doing some damselflies and dragonflies at the weekend, and I was 6 feet away and still filling the frame. So, you get this massive opportunity of, maybe you've got bad knees and you can't get down in the grass. And you want to be a little bit more comfy, and you're just practicing. So just remember to make sure all your firmware is updated, because sometimes the newer lenses need a firmware update for that.
And we've got a strawberry shake going on.
Strawberry waggling going on.
So we've got a question. Strawberry shake.
So this is from Richard. Geraint, you mentioned using manual focus to create the stack. What's your view of the in-camera feature?
What's my view of the in-camera feature?
Yep.
So the in-camera focus stacking, that's one of the reasons why I bought the Olympus cameras, to be fair. It's they're small and compact, but it was that focus stacking that did it. I love it. So I tend to use the in-camera stacking mostly when I'm working with natural light. I think that's where it kind of comes into its own. And I use it not just to gain the depth of field, but I use it in low light situations too. So if you imagine it's a day like this, trying to get like F11, it's kind of a challenge. You can't do it.
And also the wind and everything moving, it's just gonna, But,
these things shoot at like 30 frames per second. It's really, really quick. So what I would tend to use it for is, you know, shoot at f2.8, 15 frames, group
Yeah.
them nice and close together, maybe 2 or 3 on the differential. Wait for the breeze to die down,
Yeah.
and then take a shot. Because then
okay.
you get a beautiful depth of field.
Yeah.
You get like nice shallow backgrounds which are nicely blown away, but also it means you don't have to shoot at 11 million ISO.
Yeah. I mean, and you've obviously got focus stacking versus focus bracketing. Focus stacking is where it's all done in camera and you get a final
Yeah.
shot all stacked. Focus bracketing means you can shoot up to 9,999 images, quite a lot of images.
That's a lot, yeah.
And if
That's a
you
lot.
do things like slime mold, if you follow Andy Sands photography or any of those where they're putting a set of extension tubes on the body, then the 60mm,
Yeah.
and then a microscope objective on the end, you're getting something like 1 billion times magnification, then you would do more shots and stack them externally. So there's lots of ways you can sort of expand your macro sort of system and how you shoot. Claire?
Absolutely. So, Geraint, let's put everything you've told us into practice. So, do you want to give us a demo?
Yes.
We've hooked Geraint's camera up to the
And
screen.
it's quite windy.
I
Yeah.
know it's windy.
I mean, we have thrown him
We
into
are
the deep
challenging
end.
Geraint today.
It's fine. So I'd like to. It's fine. And cut. No. Are we still connected? Nicely tethered?
Oh, yeah.
It's the third one down, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
So the wind has actually picked up massively.
fine.
It's fine. This
Go
is
on
real
the
world,
floor.
isn't
You
it?
might
On
find
the
a little
floor.
sheltered
Will it still be
area.
a shot if I crawl around like a little
There's a
slug?
bug there. Look, there's a bug on
found
the
There's a little
butterfly.
bug.
Oh, it is, yeah,
It
well
will
done.
fly away, but what I want to say is, with macro photography, this isn't just an out. Genuinely,
Yeah.
you will lose a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just part of it.
Yeah.
But that's also part of the fun.
Yeah.
It means that the ones you get mean so much more.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
So it's just, you have to come to terms early on with the fact that you're going to lose more than you
Yeah.
would in landscape photography,
Yeah.
because the subjects don't want you there.
Yes.
You've got to get really
that's
close to
true.
them.
They don't want you there, right?
No, especially with this.
They sort of
The
want
hair's
them,
okay,
want
but
them,
there's
want them.
nothing I can do about
Yeah.
that. But I think it might be useful for me to demonstrate, maybe for the beginners, why aperture priority is so
Okay.
useful.
Brilliant.
And how picking the right subject with the right background
Yeah.
can transform your pictures.
Okay.
It's a nice quick tip that I can give that should bring your photography along rather quickly too.
Okay.
Is it all working?
Yeah,
Oh,
go for it.
All right.
Yeah.
Make sure I'm in aperture priority mode. Yes. I'll shoot it at f2.8 to begin with.
Nice.
And I'm going to find a
What
little
about
flower.
A little flower. I think a flower would
put
be
some nice
easier. You've got lovely
buttercups.
little buttercups.
Yeah.
Don't get stung when you lay on the
so
floor
you should
there.
be able to, even if I go out, you can see what I see.
Yep.
Hey. And I will.
Wandering
Ooh,
ar-
there's a
what-
dung fly.
What is it?
And he's, oh my gosh.
What is
It's
it?
a dung fly.
A dung fly?
Yeah, it's a little
Oh,
dung
I see
fly.
it.
Oh, I see him.
But he's eating another fly, so
Ah.
I'm not gonna show the world
It's a bit
that.
horror
It's
filmish,
a
that,
bit
isn't it? A
gross,
dung
isn't it?
fly eating
Flies,
another fly.
yeah.
No, we don't want to show that.
It's next level.
Plus, he might drop his food and then he'll have no breakfast.
Ah.
So, one of the features I love about this 60mm is the focus limiter, so I
Yeah.
can quickly get to 1:1.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you want to show the camera that, Geraint,
Can
that's
you see it?
1:1 on the top. So you basically
There we
flick
go.
down, flick round
So-
the little dial.
And you click that, and then instantly you're at the closest focusing distance.
Yeah.
Now I'm in MF, manual focus. So now, in order to focus, I need to just move the camera like this. This is how I focus now. So I will find this little, ooh,
Very
buttercup.
windy.
That is mega windy.
Bit of rain splash coming
Look at that.
Wind and the rain. We should have got those
I'm gonna have
hollyhocks
to.
up there.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
mark ISO
We could send
22
Geraint off
million.
with the cable. Look, it's quite long. He could go up into the wild
Yeah,
up
they've
there.
tethered me to
No,
stop me
you're
wandering
fine.
off.
You're fine.
Stops you.
Stops him wandering off, yeah.
You
So-
could try one that's sheltered by the log over there.
It's just look at that. But no, this is real world.
It's real time,
It's
real world, guys.
So at f2.8, I'm getting 500th of a second, so that's fine. So when it actually stays still for a brief moment in
We're looking
time,
at, we're looking at
Do
the
you want me
screen
to
and we
sort
can
of,
see the
Do you want me to sort of
you did it.
stand
it.
behind you?
Hang on.
shelter.
You can just hold it, you know.
Yeah, I tried that earlier.
Yeah. Sit. But anyway,
They say never work with
With
Children and animals.
children, animals, and now
Wildlife
Flowers.
photographers.
There we go.
Flowers in the wind.
But if you notice, at f2.8, I'm getting a reasonably fast shutter speed,
Yeah.
and even though it's windy, look,
Yeah.
we're nice and sharp.
Station,
That helps.
kicking
Handheld,
in.
yeah.
If you think about that, normally when you do macro stuff, you've got to get a tripod.
Yeah.
You know, you've got everything set up.
Yeah, I know.
Handheld,
You just
on his
shooting
knees.
free,
Yeah.
yeah.
quick shot. I mean, obviously, you know, you don't need to take the tripod. This is what makes the system so much more available for outdoor lovers. You know, if you're an outdoor lover and you want to be able to take shots outdoors and go mobile, you know, you literally just have to have one camera, one lens, and you're off.
Off you go.
Pretty easy.
And
How
the
we
thing
doing?
is, with the macro stuff, your shot is there and then it's gone again.
Yeah.
So being able to just rock up,
Yeah.
take a picture without having to set things up.
Can you
getting
imagine
tripod legs
taking
in the
20
way.
minutes setting
Oh,
everything up
and the fly's
then
like,
it's gone?
Yeah, that's what happens with the tripod, right?
Yep.
It's just the versatility, isn't it? Just
Yeah.
being able to turn
Quick,
up, switch
easy.
it on, snap, get that shot.
But you see, f2.8 we're nailing it. F8 is getting a little bit wobbly now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you want to gain that depth of field, then we have to like pop our ISO up a little bit. But
Yeah.
at
Okay.
f8,
And what's your preferred ISO to shoot at, Geraint?
I try to keep it as low as possible.
Sure.
Between 200 and 400.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
nice.
on the EM1 Mark III, I'm comfortable up at the 1000 for the
Okay.
macro
Yeah.
stuff, which
Yeah.
is pretty good.
That's brilliant.
May I sit back down and have a little
Yeah,
chat?
no,
You may, yeah.
absolutely.
'Cause I'm getting on now, feeling
also
my
we
itch.
can let the viewers see the back of your head. Right, we want them to see the front of your head
That's it,
rather
blow
than
in the
back of your
wind.
head.
There we
And
go.
I'll practice my smizing technique.
Exactly. I mean, obviously, keep the questions coming in. We haven't had a wiggle of the strawberry for a couple of minutes, so keep those comments coming in. Let's talk about seasons now.
Yes.
Obviously, rain, wind.
I was going to say, are we in summer, Claire?
Sort of.
Feels a bit.
It's
bit
one of those
autumny.
things where, as the seasons change, obviously we've got bugs. You know,
Yeah.
bugs are more prevalent in the summer.
Yes.
But what happens when you go into winter? What sort of photography do you, or macro photography do you do then?
So yeah, that's where the challenge of being a dedicated macro photographer. Like when
am I gonna do?
I'm gonna commit to macro, I'm not gonna do anything else. And then the sun goes away and the bugs go for that long sleep.
Holiday, yeah.
Long
So then
holiday.
what do you do then? Well, there's plants.
Yeah.
They kind of all there is, and mushrooms and fungi. Are
Fungi.
amazing,
Yeah.
amazing
Love it.
subject,
Yeah.
aren't they?
Yeah.
And one of my favourite things to do with mushrooms is to light them with like my phone or a torch.
Yeah.
Some of your stuff last year was so cool. It looks all dark and moody, and you've just got this little light coming in.
Yeah,
Just
very
one little-
Lothlorien.
Yeah.
It is, isn't it? Love it.
So, yeah.
So like, I'm big into like the fantasy world, and I think if I can get that across in some
Yeah.
of the pictures, that's what I try to do. So yeah, using like a constant light source, a little bit of focus stacking, creative white balance,
Yeah.
you can get some amazing shots of things like mushrooms and plants, trees.
Trees.
I like scenery.
Yeah.
I'll start, maybe in the winter, I'll start expanding what else I
Yeah.
take pictures of. But also, when we get into the depth of winter, out of autumn, then it's challenging. January,
Yeah.
February,
Yeah.
They're all sleeping, right?
everything's sleeping. Then all the mushrooms are gone. Even they've
Yeah,
gone to bed.
yeah.
I
So like,
mean-
what do you do?
Well, the one thing is, when you look at what we're sitting on, which is a rotten log, even
Yeah.
in winter,
Yeah.
you will still find fungi on,
Oh,
not
yeah.
mushrooms, but you'll find fungi
Yeah.
on there's some behind us. So actually, you can still learn a little bit of focus stacking when you're shooting in winter, because that
Absolutely.
stays forever. I
does.
think Sam was wiggling her strawberry.
I was. Bear with me a moment.
Bear with me,
I,
caller. Okay, we'll
Just carry on.
bear with me, caller.
Carry on.
Here we
Okay,
go.
fire
So
away.
Fred asked, would you ever use extension tubes with the 40 to 150?
Oh, have you
Yes.
used them with the 40 to
Have you
150?
used them?
You'll need very, very good quality ones, the
Okay.
strong ones. I've used something like ones that are 50 quid and they snapped. But that was my own fault. The
okay,
camera
okay.
and lens, fine.
Fine.
Yeah, but a bit in the middle, not so much. But the 4150, I'd probably go with the teleconverter over the extension tubes, because that way you're not losing light, but you're still gaining that
Okay.
magnification there.
Okay, on the word of extension tubes, you can get really expensive ones, you can get cheap ones. The differences are all the electronics, and also the more expensive ones tend to have metal mounts
Yes.
rather than sort of polycarbonate plastic that go directly on the body, so they're not as
I think you just,
not as good
I think
as
you just called Geraint out for using some cheap
No,
ones?
No, I got
'cause
metal ones
he
now.
said he got
Good.
he said
I
he
upgraded, I
upgraded.
spent the extra
He
10.
upgraded.
Your plastic.
Yeah. So
awful.
I think that's quite important to know that it is, if you're going to get into macro seriously,
Yeah.
it is worth investing
Definitely.
in good extension tubes. We got a strawberry.
This is a great way.
There's
to
a couple of questions. Oh, there we go. This is from Egil. Do you read about the insects? And do you have some insect books that you would recommend?
Oh,
that's
a
a
really
good
good
one.
question.
No, that's good.
Bug book.
Bug books.
So there's a nature library website that I love to look at, but I'm not the best person in the world
All the names,
for
the Latin
homework.
names.
Nah, I'm a photographer first, and I appreciate them just for kind of how they look. But I must learn more about them, because I think the more I know about their behaviour, then
Yeah.
the more interesting images I might end
Do you
up with.
tend to go out and shoot, and then if you see one that you've never seen before, then go and try and
Yeah.
research and
That's
find
exactly
out what
we
it is?
did.
Yeah,
And can I tell you a little story about a trip?
you can.
You know, when you lovely folks have sent me away to the Amazon rainforest, we actually...
Did you go to the Amazon?
Did you go to the Amazon?
Did you?
I may have.
I don't think you went to the Amazon.
I went, yeah, and
Tell us.
we found this. It looked like that, but
Okay.
it had a face, and it was alive. And our guide Jose, he's a legend, and I was like, man, I think this thing's alive, and he was like, nah. And so I took 2 sets of extension tubes on, and I took a picture of it, and he'd never seen one before, and it looked
Oh,
like a
wow.
fern with a face. So then I managed to go online and find out where it was. I've forgotten now, but it was a type of caterpillar.
Okay.
So it
Okay.
disguises itself as a bit of fern.
That's clever.
But yeah, over here I tend to find something cool,
Yeah.
and then maybe go Google it when I get back.
Yeah, I mean, there are really good books out there, like the Wild Guide series are pretty good.
They're brilliant.
And they split them down to sort of British birds,
Yeah.
damselflies, dragonflies. I've got quite a few of those, and they're quite a good,
Yeah.
resourceful guide. So, yeah, I'm sure. And again, Google helps. Yes, Sam.
So, Evian.
Avion.
Avion.
Hey,
Hello.
legacy.
Not that far away.
No.
Normally a
Strong
lot further
Welsh
away.
name as well.
It's good, isn't it?
It's good.
So, do you ever build up a scene indoors to use for macro, or do you prefer to shoot outdoors most of the time?
Outdoor.
Always
You're an
outside.
outdoor
I
lover,
love being
aren't you?
outside,
Outdoor
and
lover.
the photography
Yeah.
is an excuse to be out there.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And in terms of building scenes, obviously, if it's a bug or anything, they're always wild, free, none of this, malarkey.
Yeah.
Mushrooms, plants.
Yeah.
I just like shooting outside.
In the natural
In the
habitat.
natural, yeah. But to be fair, if you're inside, I mean, there's no wind to deal with. You're right next to
I
the
suppose if you
kettle.
got a fly in the house, but
Oh, yeah, well, I got
but
this.
see, now you're going to love
yeah.
the fly, aren't you?
Yeah.
I'm going
flies
to
are
be
cool.
like
Just
blue fly.
follows it round.
He's like, oh, it's a
I'm
fly,
like-
it's a fly.
I'm trying to learn the language. Stay still, please. But I got like this spider the other day with carrying like an egg sack.
Ooh,
But that was pretty cool.
Wow.
That was just on the roof of my house.
see,
Oh,
yeah.
that's cool.
So I'm not strictly outside. If it's something cool, I'll take a picture of it.
Yeah.
But I don't build sets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nature built the
The set,
ultimate
you've
set.
got a big enough set out there,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And, you know, don't forget, the cameras are weather sealed. I think you all know that now. We're always
We've been
pushing.
sat here, cameras getting wet, and they're all right.
Look at my glasses. I literally can't see. There's so much water on them. But you know, I've not cared about the camera.
No.
Cared more about my glasses.
Yeah.
Because I know that no matter how wet it gets, I'm going to be wetter than that. So you know, the joy about going outside that's the point of the system. We're always talking about it's weather
Yeah.
sealing. Oh, they're lovely birds.
It's
I know. I
nice
don't know if you
days.
can actually hear them on the live. Whether you can hear, you can.
What bird's that?
Chiff chaff.
Chiff chaff, chiff chaff.
Sam
chiff
has
chaff.
confirmed
Rob,
it's a chip
Rob
chip.
told me that, to be fair.
Rob would know if Rob was here.
Where's
Yeah.
Rob? Oh, if only
If
Rob was
Rob
If
was
only
here.
here.
Rob
I
was
know.
around
He
here
would.
somewhere.
He would know, wouldn't
Rob
he?
would know.
He would know.
So, Sam, have we got another question for us?
There is another question. I didn't even wave my strawberry then.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like a premonition.
It's like he knew.
So Mark asked, can you use Pro Capture on a stationary or semi-stationary bug and stack the photos in software?
I've never tried that, actually. Would that work? Nah.
I don't think it would
You
give
could just rapid fire, could you?
You
And then
can't-
move the camera closer if you wanted
You've
to
got to
go
remember that Pro Capture and bracketing
Yeah.
are on the same sort of platform as in high-speed shooting, so you can't use both at the same time.
Just use the focus stacking. The feature's there.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think what you're describing is virtually the focus stacking system
Yeah.
anyway. And
Yeah.
it's
And
so
then-
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. That,
Yeah, so you can't use them in conjunction with each other. You could, if you were waiting for a bug to take off, then obviously you would use pro-capture, the same as if you were waiting for a bird to take off or an animal to take off, and then you would maybe get it in flight.
That'd be cool.
Right?
For bees.
Bees.
So one
that
of our
sort of thing.
wonderful shooters, Susie Crowe, she uses it for bees. Have you seen any of her stuff?
Yeah.
I've
With
seen them, they're
with
mind-blowing.
So if you want it in action, it's pro-capture, but obviously if you want it still and focus from front to back, then it would be stacking or focus stacking, because you can't use the two together. But yeah, interesting question.
It's a good one, and it's nice that we've got this amazing technology at our hands, and thinking of other ways that maybe we could apply it to some other features. I suppose you could make a photo montage of it flying off. You could do that.
Yeah,
That'd
that's
be pretty
quite
cool.
nice. But yeah, I'd like to see a jumping spider in.
Mid-flight,
But all the whole.
The whole session.
mid-jump.
Yes.
Yeah.
I suppose it
that'd
is
be
flight to a certain. If you leave the ground, it's
You're
flight,
flying.
isn't it?
Yeah,
I think.
I tell
Anyway.
myself every day.
So Sam, Claire, where were we? We were talking about seasons.
We were.
Sort of
We
covered-
Yeah, we go
wait,
into the
wait.
winter. So what do you do in the winter?
Any wild animals? What about wild animals?
I haven't seen any.
I haven't seen any wild creatures.
Any wild
today.
creatures? If you
I think
see
that-
any wild creatures, shout, because obviously.
Do let us know.
You know, we
because
don't want to be frightened.
something might sneak up on us.
Yeah.
I've heard that there's a
And-
handsome stag roaming the land.
Is
so
there?
Oh,
keep an eye
really?
out
Is
for
there
it,
a
yeah.
handsome Welsh stag in here?
Yeah,
Oh,
we've got to
nice,
keep an eye out
nice,
for it.
Nice.
Interesting.
Nice.
I mean, I can't see anything right
Nothing
now.
there, no.
No.
Missed it. Any tracks?
There's some tracks though. I see some
Yeah,
tracks.
there's a couple of tracks and there's
Yeah.
a couple of biscuit crumbs.
are.
Something's been around.
So, talking of dangerous animals, that was a question I was going to ask you. In the UK, if you're, I mean, because obviously a lot of people are quite frightened of bugs. I know that sort of getting into bugs and things like that, some people don't like them, but I think once you start photographing them, you have a different mindset. Tell me, what can bite you? I mean, what should we be frightened of anything?
Oh, there's some reptiles, they give you a nasty bite, but bug-wise, nah.
But you're not going to die from them.
Adders might.
I don't think you can die
Smash
from
you
an
to bits.
adder. Can you?
Yeah.
You can die from an adder. So it's a poisonous bite. Be safe, people.
Please do not take health and safety advice
From
Clare Harvey-May. She is not a licensed professional.
But bugs, you're pretty much fine.
Strawberry.
So I think there was something behind you.
Whoa.
What?
Because
Something
we've had
was
lots
behind
of
us?
or we've turned into a pantomime. If we're all really quiet, he may come back.
Okay.
I think so.
Did they spot what it was?
They certainly did. Yeah.
Did they? What
did
was
they
it?
now?
Was it a
Was it the
lesser
stag?
spotted?
The lesser spotted Rob.
A lesser spotted Rob Cottle.
Oh my gosh!
I knew he was roaming around here
Oh,
somewhere.
we love Rob. Rob is here. Rob has joined us today. Come in, Rob.
Hi,
Come and sit
Rob.
down. Come and say a quick
Del,
hello.
I'm,
He's not
Mr. Cottle.
microphoned up, so
He just
you won't get to sort of.
come
but
and give us a
come and
wave.
at least say hello. If you don't follow Rob on Instagram, you should. Great wildlife. And look at the lens he's got there. Look, he's got the beast with him. So we're all very jealous. But thanks, Rob, for coming to see us.
He missed
We love
us.
you.
We couldn't come to Wales and not see Rob.
No, exactly. Right.
I own it.
I own it.
I own it. Well, he said one thing. I own Wales.
We've got a strawberry.
There's also an adder update.
Okay.
Oh,
so venomous, not poisonous.
Venomous.
So Charlotte's added, the adder is the UK's only venomous snake. It's poisonous generally of little danger to humans.
See, I
an adder
told
bite
you
can
you
be
couldn't
painful
die.
and cause
Anaphylactic.
inflammation.
We've all seen.
I'd
what's
still
that
Really
film about
dangerous
the
to the
beast?
young, ill or old.
There we are.
I'd still
okay.
not take
You still want to
advice from
respect them, but bugs-wise, I think if some people don't like how they look,
Yeah.
but if you just use macro photography, and it will help, I think, get
Okay.
over that, because you'd
Yeah.
appreciate them for how they look.
I think so many people are frightened of spiders. It's a really good way of. Sorry?
We have some photos.
Oh, photos. Photos.
a good idea.
We haven't even done the photos.
We haven't, no.
Oh my gosh.
Claire,
what
we've
pictures
just
are you
been
looking
chatting
at?
away
We've been
about
chatting. I know, but we're
macro.
fine for time.
Hey! Yes, that's a
talk us through
nursery
this.
web spider.
It's
No.
a what?
Yes, I think a nursery web spider, and it was on a rose in my garden.
Wow.
I know.
I love the
It
red.
reminds me of that Bon Jovi song, Bed of Roses. Are you like Bon Jovi fans in the house? Am I the
No.
only one? No.
You're on your own.
You're on your
I
own.
thought we'd have a little sing song.
Every rose has
I
a
know.
song. No.
Yeah, so that one was with the EM1X actually,
Nice.
with the 60mm.
Yeah.
Lovely.
And yeah, she was sat on the rose, and I wanted to get everything in focus. So I shot an in-camera focus stack. I think it was 15 pictures at f2.8.
Okay.
But if you'll notice on there's like a mixture of warm and cool lighting because
Yeah.
I used my mobile phone trick. So I have my phone lighting up on the side there, and
Nice.
that just helps lift up the shutter speed a
Yeah.
little bit. And
But the
Pretty.
red really is gorgeous because it makes the spider
It pops,
pop,
doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly the word I was going to say.
well,
you
that's
know,
the thing. We got to think of the image overall.
Yeah.
And I think you could take a picture of the spider, and this is what I kind of started trying to do lately.
Yeah.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
Think of the whole frame.
Yeah.
And then try to make that as beautiful as you can. And
Yeah.
I think it softens it. So if you're a bit nervous of spiders, maybe, if you see it within this kind of context,
Yeah, it's
it kind
Yeah.
of softens it a bit.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you appreciate them for how cool they are.
Absolutely.
So I don't know what's going on in the field over there, but just ignore some lady on a loudspeaker. Sam, question.
So,
I think
this
there's
is
like a
Richard.
sports day.
Yeah, I think it's a sports day.
Jamboree.
Going on in Liverpool, yeah.
Joyo and a jamboree.
So,
The flashback.
so you say you use aperture priority. Why not manual? That's Richard.
I use aperture priority mode if I'm not using flash.
Oh, okay.
And it's really because we've got the what you see is what you get viewfinder. I can control the exposure a lot better. And usually I'm shooting at f2.8, f4, 5.6 maybe. And all I need to worry about then is just making sure that the shutter speed isn't too slow. I just think it's easier. When you're doing macro with wild subjects, you want it to be as easy as it can be.
And quick as it
Quick.
can be.
Yeah, I don't want to like faff around too much. So I'm comfortable in manual mode, but it's just easier for me and quicker.
And
just to
there's
shoot an
no
aperture.
right or wrongs. I mean, if you find it more comfortable to shoot in manual mode,
Yeah.
that's absolutely fine too.
Yeah, it's
you know,
fun, isn't it?
It's all good.
It's photography.
Yes, Sam.
So Anne asked, do you use a special tripod for close to the ground work? For example, focus stacking with mushrooms.
I don't own a tripod, so I don't need one.
Can you show us what you do, Geraint, instead to
I
get
can
really
show you
close
what I
to
do.
the
Get
ground?
Get down on the floor.
She's so bossy.
Can I take off my
Oh,
brand
hang
new?
on. Yes. So he's taking off his jacket. Get comfortable. That's
I
the
gotta
thing.
take it off because those are tweed elbow pads.
You don't want to mess with the tweed
No.
elbow pads, do you?
So we've got 7 stops, maybe 7.5 in here. Is that right? Of stability. So I use that. That's really the tripod. But if you haven't got that luxury,
Yeah.
not everybody's got that. You need to like support yourself. I'm not going to go on the ground.
We literally like
You're going to
taking the
look for
mickey.
bugs. I don't want to squish no one. And then
Oh,
this is how you do it. You just support it in another way.
Yeah.
And you're using your articulated screen.
I like to use that from time to
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because then I can just
Yeah.
watch what I'm up to.
And do you
Yeah.
know what? I do exactly the same. When I'm shooting macro, or because I've got really bad knees, I tend to put my articulated screen on my arm,
Yeah.
and that just gives you
Oh,
the
that's a
other.
good idea.
It's a really good
Yeah.
way of shooting because you get like a little tripod. And the other thing is your face. If you put the camera against your face, you've then got another static subject. If it's if you're laying on the ground, so rather than holding your arms out like that where they're not supported on anything,
Yeah.
that's actually quite hard. So yeah, you can shoot like this. I love shooting like that. That feels really
Yeah.
nice and
Keep yourself
tight.
as stable as you
Or
can.
use your face. As I said, your face can be a sort of something that you can put the camera against. So lots of different options.
Oh, she's straight on the strawberry.
So it's a question from Tom Omerod.
Hi, Tom.
Howdy, Tom.
Our favourite landscape photographer.
Yeah.
How
And
you
so-
doing, man?
He's asking, what's your favourite Welsh or UK bug to shoot?
Ooh. Are they Welsh bugs? Are they specific?
Yeah, but they
Welsh
running around with
bugs?
dragons or like
They talk with a funny accent.
they got. Yeah, do you
Yeah.
have to speak to them in Welsh?
Yeah, you got to say, Dewch am y bug bachan.
Oh.
Instead chi lawr.
Oh.
What's that
Dwi
mean?
eisiau
Oh.
cymryd, what's Welsh for picture? Photo.
Okay, if I take your picture.
Yeah, and there you go.
I love it.
I'm a bug, I don't talk Welsh.
So yeah, have you got favourites?
No, I don't really have a favourite. Like, I got a sweet spot for damselflies.
They're
because
gorgeous,
they
they
kind
are,
of
yeah.
got me into macro photography. But
Yeah.
there's no, whatever bug is in front of my lens, that's my favourite one at the time.
And I suppose each bug you photograph then sort of brings on a different challenge. You know,
Yeah.
you might want to see the face, or the face is in a different area, or maybe they've
Yeah.
got large wingspans, so you then
Yeah.
got to think, oh, focus that because we got to get all that in. And
Exactly.
so, you know, it's quite a good challenge and a variety of
Yeah,
options.
you're constantly learning with it, macro photography.
Yeah.
You can't really repeat yourself. And that's
Yeah.
what I love about it, because you never get the same opportunity 2 times.
Okay, next slide or
Oh,
next
look
image
at that
slide.
image.
Look at me, tell them old. Next
Next
slide.
slide.
Next image. Next slide. Who and what? Is this my favourite image?
No,
look
that's
at that.
nearly.
You know the one I love.
Quirky.
It's like,
Oh, the little
Yeah.
peekaboo one.
the peekaboo one has always been my favourite. Tell us about this image.
So this is a wonderful green grasshopper, and it's almost monochromatic, but it's not black and white. And that's
Yeah.
what I love about it. It's this solid wall of green.
Yeah.
So when I do talks, I like to. I got these 3 C's I like to work with. These 3 here.
Claire.
Coffee.
Coffee. Colour, connection, and clarity. So these are the 3 kind of things
Okay,
I like
okay.
to try to get out of the images. So really, what you see in there is the clarity,
Yeah.
colour, and connection.
Yeah.
But I look for photo opportunities before I look for subjects.
Okay.
So this is an in-camera
So
focus
good.
stack,
Yeah.
8 frames at f2.8.
Nice.
Because even that isn't a lot.
Yeah.
No.
But
But it's enough, isn't it?
well,
Yeah.
if I shoot that at f8, that means the background's going to come into
Yeah.
focus.
Yeah.
But if you focus
messy.
that,
And it
you
just makes that
Yeah.
image with the background being
It
thrown
does,
out.
but
yeah.
it's weird because when you focus stack, you end up with a shallower depth of field than
Yeah.
a single shot anyway.
Yeah.
Because you're controlling how much of the picture is in focus
Yeah.
rather than just letting the laws of photography decide that.
Yeah.
Was this taken in the Amazon?
No, that was taken in Seven Sisters.
Yeah, you see? In Wales.
Indeed.
Here in
Similar,
Wales.
Yeah.
very similar. to
Very
the
similar.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, have we got another image, Gav? Oh, hang on.
So I just sat down.
Just sat down. Oh, a little bit of bokeh.
So that's
Bokeh,
with the-
bokeh, whatever you want to call it.
Bokeh.
Bokeh. I call it bokeh.
I call it foil from a Bourbon biscuit.
There you
what that
go,
was.
make your own bokeh.
Yeah, pocket
Fantastic.
bokeh. Yeah, I just put it
Pocket
behind it.
bokeh.
And
Okay.
that was with the, I think that might have been the 40 to 150 with a
Nice.
1.4 TC on there as well.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
it just
Bit of backlight,
You
can be-
beautiful.
be quite far away from them.
Yeah,
But
lovely.
That is
that's
amazing.
a single shot, and that would have been at about 4.5,
Okay.
something like that.
Nice because it's fairly flat on,
Yeah.
isn't it? So,
If you can get your camera parallel to the subject, you
Yeah.
can shoot with smaller, wider apertures
Yeah.
because you're working with the plane of focus there.
Yeah,
So you get
yeah.
more of it in.
no,
Fantastic.
absolutely love that. And that was shot in the UK?
Yeah.
See, it's good. All in the UK, guys.
You can
So
do this
stuff
at
that's
home.
on your doorstep.
Walking
Yeah.
distance from my house.
Yeah.
Exactly. And even with social distancing and lockdown,
Yeah.
you are allowed to go for walks and spend half an hour in your park,
Yeah.
you know, and do that sort of stuff, you know, so don't be frightened to not do that. And the weather's coming in.
I know.
Just do some windshield wipers on my glasses. Gav, next image, please. Quickly.
Hey, it's very on topic as well.
Ladybugs.
Soaking wet ladybirds.
Yeah.
So this is with my E1 Mark II.
Okay.
2 sets of extension tubes.
Yeah.
My flash bracket,
Nice.
FL900, and that was a 9-image handheld focus stack.
Brilliant.
It's not in camera. I have to do it manually. So I do it by shooting 1 frame at a time, and then
Yeah.
you move the camera
Okay.
so slightly.
Okay.
But having that
Sharp.
stabilizer.
Sharp.
means that I can keep it in line and not
Yeah.
have to rush things.
We've got a strawberry shake happening.
Oh, a strawberry shake.
Yeah.
I know, right?
I think this is relating to the previous shot, which was the butterfly. Is that with flash,
No,
Steve
there's
asked?
natural light in that one,
Okay.
but the sun was behind me.
Okay.
So that's landing on the
yeah.
butterfly there.
Right, okay.
Nice.
But it wasn't a very bright day, so it's similar to this.
Yeah.
But he's just peeking through a little
Okay.
bit. But
Yeah.
then it was just enough to catch the foil behind it.
Yeah.
There was all sticks and twigs, and the foil
Yeah.
and the bokeh made it look a bit prettier.
Brilliant
Fantastic.
stuff. So we're on the ladybird image, and yeah, Gav, go next image, Gav.
Gav's
That's so funny. Well, you should see the behind the scenes here.
Ooh,
I can't
okay.
see my glasses.
This is a spotted wolf spider.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so her
Go a
name
bit
is
closer,
Wanda
Claire.
McDoris.
Oh, I can see it now.
She's cute, isn't she?
See, Doris.
Wanda McDoris.
Oh,
Okay, that's a nice
you give her a
name.
little
Yeah.
Scottish name.
Well, I put it on Instagram,
Yeah.
and I asked the folks on there who follow along. I said, "We need to name this lady, innit?" And I couldn't. Somebody said Doris, and someone said Wanda, and I couldn't pick.
Put them
so I
together.
just
Wanda McDoris.
That's nice.
Nearly broke my finger live on Facebook.
Got another strawberry shake.
Actually, that
I
was
love
this
it.
one's from me.
Oh,
How big is that?
Oh, teeny.
Like that.
it was
Wow.
this big.
Not dangerous.
There's one behind you. No, they're like
She will freak out.
about.
The whole of the life goes
running
off
across
because
the
Sam's running down the field.
They're about a centimetre or so. So
Oh,
like
okay.
that. Yeah,
Okay.
teeny tiny.
Yeah, see?
Adorable little faces.
Made it look fairly shellob looking.
Well, isn't it incredible?
Oh,
you can
I
get.
love the references today.
I love shellob.
Yeah,
But
she's-
you've made it look pretty scary. And this is the problem with spiders. When they're shown like that,
Yeah.
they look so scary.
Isn't it nuts? So you can get that detail
Amazing.
when they're this small, and you can get that detail from your kit. It's
Yeah, it's
incredible.
that 60 mil.
Yeah.
It's bonkers.
Yeah.
And that's when you add extension tubes on there. You're increasing the magnification, but
Yeah.
there's no extra glass, so you're maintaining the optical quality of
Yeah.
Yeah.
that 60 millimeter
Yeah.
as well.
I
She's cute as she
absolutely
is.
love
Her
it.
little eyes. And you can tell she's a lady
I
because
can
her little palps at the
But I
front.
can
is
see
skinny.
why. Oh, look at that.
The
How many
detail is
eyes has
just-
she got?
8.
Come on, that you can't deny that doesn't look a bit scary, right?
No, it's cute.
Yeah,
It's
I
the
know,
big old
but I can
cartoony
see
eyes.
why people are. But when you sort of zoom back and you think it's only like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
then you
That's
start
the
to
thing.
put things into
Yeah.
perspective, don't you?
Yes,
You know.
and talking about putting things into perspective.
Oh, yeah.
This is why I've started shooting a little wider and further back now, because
you want
you
environment
can't tell
stuff.
how big they are.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think I need to give a sense of scale sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's a bug portrait. I photograph them like people.
I love it.
So
But yeah, so you're a portrait photographer.
just tiny little folks.
Gav, next image.
Hey, it's a little green fly aphid. So that's a baby green fly,
Ah.
and that's dangling off a blade of grass.
Oh,
So,
look at that.
You know, one of the things is with macro is like, where can I go?
Yeah.
I'm lucky enough to have a garden or
Yeah.
like a little grassy patch. So that was taken just in my garden after a rain shower.
Wow.
So when it was raining, I wait for it to stop for a little bit, and then I run out and try and scope
See what
out
you
and
can
see
see.
what I can see.
Yeah, I love
And
that.
I was actually just photographing the blob of water.
And then
the
you saw
aphid
the
just showed
little
up,
aphid.
and I was like, please do something, please do something.
Look
And
at
then-
that.
Yeah,
It's
she,
Look how
amazing.
sharp that is.
so that's
And she's coming for a little drink.
but that's f5.6,
Okay.
Okay.
and it's that very high magnification.
Yeah.
So that's 2 sets of extension tubes.
Wow.
But for that kind of thing, you have to use a flash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need because you just can't get the shutter speed.
Yeah.
But I love it. He's
Incredible.
washing his hands.
Is that the last image, Gav?
That is.
Yeah, it is. Okay. I know what I wanted to talk to you about then.
did you want to
so
talk about?
we spoke about stills,
We have, yep.
video.
Yes.
Now, I know this is a new project that you're sort of starting to get into and starting to sort of see. So tell us about macro video.
So before I had this wonderful thing, I struggled with the video things because the stability is mind-blowing anyway.
Yeah.
But when it's a little bit windy and when you work at a very high magnification, it's kind of challenging to not have a wobbly video, and I don't want to cart a tripod around
Yeah.
and things like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But we've got this slow-mo feature now. And
Yeah, right.
filming bugs in slow-mo is just solved
Yeah.
that problem for me.
Okay. Really
Because
cool.
even all you need is like half a second of stillness.
Yeah.
And in slow-mo, that's like a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
And you get the bugs like doing the quirky little habits, washing
So
their
you
faces.
don't think about that, do you?
No.
I've not done any video with bugs ever. I want
Please.
you guys to do some
Get
because
filming them.
So
It's
yeah,
amazing.
so you get movement, you get them grooming themselves.
Yeah, and then when it's like it dies down and it's still again, I'll get out the slow-mo then, I'll shoot it in 4K, and just for the detail, I'm
Yeah.
such a nerd for detail, I just start shooting it in 4K. But that slow-mo thing has really changed how I go
Yeah.
about things.
So have you got videos on your Instagram and stuff like that? Have you
I've
put them up
started
yet?
putting them out there, but I'm
Okay.
working on like a mini epic bug movie. So I've been quiet on Instagram because I'm
Geraint's Bug
doing that.
Life.
Yeah, I want to do like
Geraint's Bug Life.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to worry about the old license on that, but yeah. Geraint's Bug Life. So, I mean, any tips for video for people with if they want to do sort of bugs and stuff like that?
It's the same as the photography, composition first.
Yeah.
I always say
Okay.
compose first
Okay.
because that's just going to make it more visually appealing anyway.
Yeah.
I've got a little video light because when
So a
in
constant light?
constant
Yeah,
light,
yeah.
but
Okay.
it just helps a little bit because
Yeah.
in slow-mo you need 125th of a second
Yeah.
to begin with.
Yeah.
And if trying to get F8 can be a little bit challenging.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I mean, I'm a novice with video, and this has made it easy for me to just go on. So it's really just a case of like having to play.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just don't be too scared of just experimenting.
Yeah. I mean, I've never shot video. I don't do masses of video, and every year I say, I'm going to do more
Yeah,
video.
I did a bit in lockdown last year, just did a little bit more. Oh, we got a shaky strawberry, but yeah, never macro video.
Yeah.
No, do it.
But it'd be really interesting, and we cannot wait to see your movie. So, Sam?
So Trish asked, where is the slow-mo feature on the camera?
Yeah, so you need to pop her into the little camera mode. And then
Video
it's
mode, yeah.
The video mode. And can you see my screen?
No. Okay.
Never mind.
So yeah, so do you
It's in
want
the
to
video
say menu?
settings. Yeah, you go into the menu, into the video settings, and then in there
camera
you
switcher.
choose which of the video filming options you want to use.
Yeah.
And you're looking for the one that says FD, HS, and then I've got it playing back at 24 frames per second.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So HS stands for high speed.
Yeah.
And it's filming at 120, 240
240
frames a second. But it is
Super
And
seven.
on the Olympus camera it says HS, which means high speed.
Yeah.
But it's so sharp. It maintains that amazing quality because it's 1080 still, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
And I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
It's just transformed like.
And don't forget, as Geraint
Everything.
says, what's really important is like 1 second of filming is like 2 hours
Yeah.
when you play it back. So you don't need to be there
You
for
don't need to
5
be there
hours
for
shooting
ages,
because
yeah.
you'll be like, what?
Stop. Yeah, once you're going to move, make sure you cancel it because I learned the hard
Yeah.
way.
And the other tip is if you're going to download it to your phone, it will always play back in a much smaller resolution
Yeah.
because obviously putting 4K on your phone just
Yeah.
fills it up. So I wouldn't probably download it to the phone.
Pop it onto the
always put it
computer.
on your computer.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Sam?
Thank you. Steve asked that you've mentioned the flash bracket and diffuser.
Yes.
So what are you using?
Have you got it with you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I've got it,
Let's have a look.
It's in my snazzy bag. My wonderful. This has been all the way to the end.
I mean,
as well.
that's...
It's
yes.
well used, isn't it?
I know.
Yeah.
I like to see it all covered in mud because it shows
It
that
shows
you
it's you.
Yeah.
are an outdoor lover. You know,
Yeah.
you like going outdoors and shooting pictures.
Exactly. Look at that.
So this is my flash bracket.
Okay.
Can you all see it? Where's my little screen?
Gav.
There.
There.
Hang on, I want to make it like an infomercial. So this is a flash bracket. This is from Custom Brackets. It's about 100 quid or so. And I've got a Novaflex macro bore head on there.
Brilliant.
That's about £30 or so. I spend a little bit of money on your flash brackets if you're going to buy one.
Yeah, because
I've-
you
Don't
can
want it to
get
break
cheap
and
ones.
yeah, they,
You need to
turn
hold
to,
the
they
weight.
turn to butter after a while.
Yeah,
So this
okay.
one is nice and light, matches the kit nice, you know, as
Brilliant.
well. And the diffuser I'm using at the moment is this big old boy.
Yeah, yeah.
It's about a A4 piece of paper
But
size.
that does
Yeah.
spread the light really nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's lots of diffusion options out there.
Yeah.
You can make your own. I remember when you made your own in the
I've
early
got peanut
days.
butter tub.
You know, a bit
Yeah.
of plastic, bit of sort of
Yeah.
sellotape and
Yeah, I used to like get a bit of arts and craftsy.
yeah, you know, and that's what you got to do. You got to
Yeah.
try and make things
absolutely.
from around the house.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think we're here. I think we're sort of nearly to the end,
I think
aren't
we need to have a look. Have anyone got any more questions? Chuck them in.
Yep.
We have got the competition winners.
Oh,
from,
gosh, I was
about
off.
that?
I
You
was
were-
off.
you were off, Dan.
I was breakfast, cup
Yeah.
of tea. Yes, we haven't done the competition. So, last competition we were with Jules Cox
Yes,
in
in
the
the Bluebell
Bluebell
Woods.
Woods, which was lovely.
It was,
Our
yeah.
first outdoor.
Yeah.
And we asked, the subject was
Spring flowers.
spring flowers. Lots of entries, and again, as it's always really difficult to choose the winner.
Yeah.
And we went for something a little different this
We did.
time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Gav.
So
we
we've
got
got-
3, so we got 2 sort of highly commended. We
Yeah.
always like to show more than one.
Yeah.
And then we got the winner. So if Gav and Sam would like to put the first one up. Now, Gav, I can't see the name because it's over there. Daisy Woolhouse.
Stacey.
Stacey. Daisy. Look at the spring flower. Daisy Woolhouse.
stunning.
Stacey Woolhouse. A beautiful shot
We
of
love
the
this shot of the bluebells.
woodlands and
Yeah.
the bluebells. You know, it's such a great place to be in the spring. It's so
Yeah,
serene
absolutely.
and the smell is amazing. Thank you, Stacey, for your entry. And the next one, Gav, run like a... Oh, love this little triptych.
I like this,
Wow.
yeah.
Love
yeah.
the little triptych. It
3
was
little shots of bluebells. Who was this one shot by?
Janet Miles. Well done, Janet, and thank you for entering. We love this, and as I said, we haven't ever shown a triptych.
No, we haven't.
on the lives. And we just thought nicely framed,
Yeah.
beautifully done,
A little bit different.
Oh,
Oh.
that was different but the same.
There you see. But the winner is
This one.
clap while
That's-
Gav's working out. We love this because it was a beautiful close-up. We've
Yeah.
got a bug in there.
No, you
Especially
have
for
to.
you.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
We put the bug in, and it's such a gorgeous. Is that a marigold? I mean, I'm not actually very good at my flowers. I'm sure someone.
Sunflower, innit?
Sunflower?
Is it a sunflower?
Yeah. It's
That's
just
quite
a
big.
crop of a sunflower, yeah.
Okay, and this was by Mayland
Mayland
Long.
Long.
Mayland has been on many of our lives and always says hello. So well done, Mayland. A
We
coffee.
would show you what you've won, but we all forgot our coffee with the Clares mug when we were packing for Wales.
Oh,
You could have won this. You have won.
You have won.
Here's the
Look
ball.
at what you could have won. But it's amazing. So, you know, you will be getting a coffee with the Clares mug. And thank you for entering. What is the competition this month?
Well, Claire, we're here
I want
with
that.
Geraint talking about bugs.
And are we macro bugs?
I think we're going to do macro
Not
bugs.
flowers.
Not flowers.
But
Bug on a
living-
flower?
we
We just
A
had
bug
one
on
of
the
those.
flower could
We'll
happen,
allow
but
bugs
it's
on the
got to
flower.
have a bug in it of some sort,
Yeah.
right?
So we are going for macro bugs for this competition.
Wow.
So we will, Charlotte will pop
exciting.
up some images from Geraint afterwards in a separate post.
So you can get inspired,
Yep.
re-go over them.
And you can pop your images in the comments. And the next live, which is our live with Andy Rouse at the
Oh,
end
yes,
of July,
yes.
we
Wow.
will pick a winner, and you'll be able to see who wins another coffee with the Clares mug. But be inspired,
Yeah.
go out, take shots, and it's a wonderful time of year to be out there doing macro
Yeah.
bug photography.
And if you're frightened of spiders and you don't like the bugs, this is a golden opportunity for you to beat that fear and get down in the ground with your fellow bug and sort of say hello and introduce yourself and then become that person, because that's what you've got to do. And
Yeah.
honestly, they're not as frightening as you think they are.
Hugs for bugs. Hugs
Oh.
for bugs.
Hugs for bugs.
Hugs for
Geraint's
bugs.
new hashtag.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that hashtag hugs for bugs. We want to see your pictures. Make sure you tag at
Yep.
Olympus UK in everything you do. Obviously, we love to see it, and Charlotte is brilliant at picking out. You know, you might get featured on our, I was going to say Freaky Friday. It's not Freaky Friday.
Friday favourites.
Friday favourites.
Friday
you might
favourites
get
on Instagram.
featured on our Friday favourites. I got featured last week. Quite happy with myself, to be fair. So, you know, make sure that happens. What else, Claire?
Well, we've got lots more lives coming up. Like I say, we are live with Andy Rouse in July. Dave's also got a couple of sessions coming up soon. And we have a very special session with Gavin Hoey coming up on the 20th of July. We won't tell you what it is yet.
Not
Still
telling
working
you
on
what
it.
is yet. Yeah, he's like that. Thank you so much for joining us, but mainly thank you to Geraint. Thank
Claire,
you to.
you have to say it in Welsh.
Oh, go on.
Diolch.
Oh, that
Croeso.
was easy.
Diolch about, and thank you for having me along.
But also
It's been
thank you
awesome.
to the guys at the University of Wales. They're amazing. The Education Centre here is incredible. Thank you for
And
letting
if you
us.
could see the behind the scenes, I think we can switch to behind the scenes.
Yay!
You can see Gav, Sam and Rob there, and they have been a huge help under their lovely shelter, keeping dry, I might add.
And honestly, we absolutely love the outdoors, but we also love you joining us, and we hope we've inspired you once again. We want to see your pictures. The hashtag is not home with Olympus. What's the hashtag? Oh, there's like lots of
There's so
break
many
free
hashtags.
with
Break
Olympus.
free with
Break
Olympus.
free with Olympus. That's the
Coffee
one.
with the Clares.
That's it. Yeah, get that trending. Hashtag coffee with the Clares.
We'll do
Get
it.
that trending. Thank you so much for joining us from beautiful sunny Wales. We will see you all again soon.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.